The law of attraction is more than simply thinking about the reality you want and then being able to experience it. Although the thoughts are the seeds that produce the crop that they are matched with, just thinking the thoughts can be a process that is a bit slow in delivering results. And often those results don't show up because we aren't matching what it is that we truly want. However, when a person learns the difference between wanting and being, a major shift takes place. One that puts them in the perfect position to manifest what they want in a much faster way. Through the attempt to think ourselves into abundance, or a loving relationship, or the perfect home or career, we often produce a vibration that indicates the lack of that thing. When this happens, we experience more of that lack. The more successful approach is to learn to shift from want to have and embody the being of that. A poor person coming from the space of lack will not think themselves rich. That person must manifest the internal beingness of abundance first, so they resonate with that state and attract it into their life. There's a famous quote by Rumi that reads, "What you seek is seeking you." This helps us to look at things in a different light. If we know that what we would like to experience would also like to be a part of our experience, it takes the pressure off of that thing or event. This shifts the equation to one of feeling worthy and recognized by the manifestation that is intended. If we have the thought, we've already created it. And our creation would be more than happy to be a part of the experience of its creator when we permit it to do so. One of the fastest ways to make this shift is through allowing ourselves to experience the things we think of and desire. We can easily do this by giving ourselves permission to do so. Consent is one of the biggest ingredients to achievement and manifestation. The mind has been taught from an early age that authority is important, and the act of having permission indicates approval. This is a type of validation that the mind loves to experience. Recall a time when you were given permission to do something either from a parent or other authority figure, and how that felt. The feeling of allowance is very freeing to both the mind and body. It's a sensation that is delightful to both. Ask yourself the following questions. If you were to give yourself permission to have the things that you want, what would that you look like? In other words, if you went from wanting something to being with it, what differences would you see in yourself? How would you act and what would you do? What would you be free to experience by being the person that has what they once desired? What would your life be like? When you ask yourself these questions, you can then take the time to feel what it feels like to be a person that has the things that they once wanted. The feeling is the vibrational equivalency of the desire. It moves you from wanting, which is a far-off notion, to representing or becoming the nature of a person who personifies that thing from an internal level. Take the time to feel this in its fullness. If you notice that any aspect of you is not ready to act in alignment with this feeling state, simply give it permission to do so. For example, if you tell yourself that you are now in the loving relationship that you previously wanted, and you feel a knot in the pit of your stomach, tell that space that it now has full permission to feel loved and happy. Or if your mind gives you a thought that this is not true, give your mind permission to release that thought so that it can embrace love and fullness. As simple as this sounds, the direction from your conscious mind will often move your feeling states as a whole into one of complete embodiment of being the person that has what was once desired. Sometimes this takes more than one attempt, but your mind understands very well what the word permission means and will begin to accept, embrace, and allow such. The thought or idea is its own energetic form with its own vibrational frequency. We decide that we want something because of what that vibrational frequency means to us on an internal feeling-based level. The only thing to do from that point is maintain that feeling as often as possible, to be the person that has it. And when we give ourselves the permission to alter from wanting to embodying, we cannot help but match the energy that our thought holds in a more dominant way and draw it closer into our experience.